Am I the only one with a pre-show gag?
Oh,
Yeah.
I have something here.
Wait,
I guess.
I
I
don't
have
know.
something.
Everybody's nobody can top Jao's show guys.
Welcome to the
Hey!
screen.
Hey, welcome to Bodega Nights. We got Jao, we got Norm, we got Ironic Gamer 86 Miko, and we have our special guest, Dr. Joem Antonio. And my name is Martin. You would have seen me in a Brazilian news segment like for 1 or 2 seconds last Sunday night. Hi,
nice.
guys.
But I was
that you got a
going to-
Brazilian.
I was
I
just
wasn't.
to say that to get like a sort of lay of the land. We got Martin on the left next to me. We got Norm on the right next to me, and on the bottom we have Joem and Miko. Left and right. So Norm, you're not on the bottom today, man.
Yes.
Is he up here or up here?
Oh, Miko's punching me. Oh. Oh.
My balls.
Protect your balls.
Okay.
But yes, this is a very big episode. We finally got our friend Doc Joem on Bodega Nights.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing that I noticed,
On
everybody
Bodega
here is
Nights
wearing a
episode.
hat.
Yes.
Oh no, I came in, they were
cap.
wearing hats. I felt like I guess I better wear a hat now, so I got my hat.
Right, so
know, and,
Joem comes in like wearing a hat, and then Norm
Everybody
starts
got-
wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I
Um,
don't know where my hat is, so it's like, all right.
Jao, hold
let's,
on. It
let's
seems like you're doing your
accessorize.
yeah.
let's
It
accessorize.
seems, yes, it seems like you're doing your best ex Valias impersonation right now.
Yeah, man, he's a pretty good writer, so I figured if I do
Yeah,
this, I'd
pretty
be a
good
pretty good
writer.
writer as well. With a plain white shirt, right?
The plain white shirt.
Yep.
You gotta look the part to be the part.
Yeah.
About to be the part.
That's how you get
Actually-
typecasted.
Yeah.
Like
It
I
only
was
works in
many
some
times.
Precursor.
I was so evil in so many
Yeah.
in so many plays. I enjoy playing Keanu Reeves, playing someone else. I had much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. That play.
Yes.
I'm glad I-
Wait, dude. Let's talk about Norm. Man, how's
Wait, why?
Manila,
What
dude?
happened to Norm?
How's
Oh,
like,
right.
how's like the storm and stuff?
Well,
Because,
apparently
It
that's
was
working.
south.
Yeah, it's earlier the internet was Zoom was telling me that the internet was unstable. So we'll see if my internet holds out. Joem's here with me, but it's currently quiet. And
Man, I was waiting for Norm
Yeah.
to have the technical difficulties gag right there. Just freezes.
it's like-
That might just
So, Doc, how's your side of things in Mandaluyong?
Well,
the gardens.
I mean, of course, it's nighttime. It's quite dark, but it has been dark the whole day. I don't hear the wind though.
Okay, that's safe.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
is
so for now.
where is the storm right now though? Like, is it? I haven't really been tracking it as closely as I normally
Yeah.
track these big storms. But as far as I know, at least according to the Japan Meteorological Agency website, their track,
Okay.
what's it at UTC 12, which is around 8 p.m. here. It should be like over Manila, but it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it's there. So I'm not
Oh,
sure
really?
if
Up to now.
like passed or if it hasn't like been there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been updated. All I know is apparently there's another storm coming, apparently.
Yes.
One
Actually,
more
two
or
others.
another one.
Yeah.
Two others.
I mean, there's always a storm that's just lingering outside the Philippine area of responsibility, and then they just
Yeah.
come in tropical.
But this one's gonna be consecutive. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. The last time something like that happened and people were making a big deal out of it. The second one was just a little rainstorm, but
Yeah.
can't be too sure, right? I mean, 2020 has been a pretty messed up year.
I think this one's gonna be lighter because anyway, they said that the typhoon Rolly was supposed to be a super typhoon, but the time it hit us, it lost its super.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it.
It ain't
Um,
super.
I mean, it's
Thanks
all
for
good news.
asking.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the I can't believe I'm gonna say this, right? Because it's like, it's quite the tragedy. But then at the same time, the Philippines was kind of lucky in the sense that it hit Bicol, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
that sort of South Luzon, that southern Luzon area is really, really, really good at their disaster preparedness and the way they respond to disaster. Like if this had been any other part of the country, they would have been more screwed than Bicol. Like
Mm.
um, this is, I don't know, this is pretty true, right? All of the lecturers on disaster readiness, and well, that's a bit of an over exaggeration, but like a lot of the lecturers that talk about disaster readiness are from Bicol. They have a pretty robust disaster DRRM like program.
Mm.
They're LGU there, so
Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
okay. I got
yeah.
it.
So I don't know.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Could have been much worse, but I'm gonna remove this scarf. It's getting kind of hot.
You are looking quite hot. I have to agree.
Yeah, visual gag. Great for the audio format. Most of the listeners of Bodega Nights are on the audio format.
And
I mean,
the
I have a
four listeners
soundboard
on
yeah,
here,
yeah.
but I don't think my soundboard works on Zoom.
Oh.
Though my
Oh.
only one here would be the hub, so I don't know if you want that sound effect.
Nah. What are you doing, stepbrother?
Wait. Yeah, right there, dude. Right
My
there
gosh.
from the phone.
Perfect.
Oh man.
This is just one of those things that I did with my class. Like, hey guys, are you guys still there? Air horn, and then all of a sudden, like the chat explodes.
We're awake. We're awake.
What was that, sir? That was my air horn, trying to get the hype down. trying to bring in
Yep.
the hype.
Hype train.
I'm sorry.
Gotta make sure the listeners are still awake.
Yeah, that's how I view my class, dude. The chat, you know.
You just see Jao starts just doing his teaching stuff on Twitch. There you guys go. You have channel points. You can do these things, do all this other stuff. I'm
There was
expecting all
actually-
you guys to follow my channel.
Isn't that basically what the education system is relegated to now? It's this
Well,
close to becoming Twitch.
Pretty
Not
much, man.
necessarily. Not necessarily though. I mean,
Oh yeah, how
if,
do you
uh,
guys handle it
teachers
now?
how do I handle? Well, I mean, actually, teachers are given a lot of leeway now to try to explore. So my personal design is I've uploaded my lecture and it's broken down in so many bits, and
Mhm.
it's actually activity heavy. So
Oh, that's cool.
Activity heavy.
yeah, for the objective type tests, the students have unlimited tries, and because it's unlimited tries, I've made it extra hard.
Ah, you've created Dark
yeah,
Souls,
I
but
mean-
education.
Ah.
I am this is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Dark
yeah,
Souls
exactly.
of education.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Every time he
And then-
fails,
then I
just
think
as a thing pops up, you have failed. It's like, go back.
Yeah, and I think it's
So
a
I'm
great idea because students keep trying to perfect it, and I think there's a completionist in everyone there. So
They want to
Try.
get a.
I did it horrible the first time. I have to do it again. And because they do it multiple times, they learn the lesson without me really having to explain to them what they're doing wrong and what they're doing
At
right.
some point, there's gonna be that one guy speed running Joem's classes. I can speed run this.
I mean,
Repeating multiple
I was-
times.
I was gonna say, right? Joem has the completionists in his class. I have the speedrunners.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
Like,
I had some people who try to do a speed run as well, but yeah, I mean the whole idea of making things challenging, I'd put it that way, is that yeah, you I mean, because it is reading, if you speed run it, you're bound to miss details. And one of the very first tests that I gave was really a basic observation test about row your boat.
whoa.
Yeah, the nursery rhyme, and it's
Yeah.
actually quite funny because there are certain questions that if you paid attention you'd notice, but if you're really trying to speed run it, you're probably gonna miss things out. Like, for example, true or false? The word row repeats 3 times in row, row, row your boat.
Oh, okay.
Which
So
part?
again, we have Joem who
Or
goes through the
total?
Dark Souls mentality, and Zhao who goes through Mario apparently.
Yeah.
Because
It's the stage.
actually, I mean,
Go.
the thing that I do though is I release my uh episodes. I release the uh lessons. Well, I pace them out.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
I
mean,
have to pace them out. Like right in the beginning, I
Actually,
gave them
yeah.
like 2 weeks worth, and then somebody tried to speed run like the 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, no, we're doing this we're doing this day by day.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
Joem, how's that yours done? Is it like live or is it like pre-record stuff?
no, actually, most of the stuff is really just written down. I decided to really go hardly any videos. Everything's written down because it's a reading class. So
Oh, okay,
you
that
guys
makes
have
sense.
no choice but to read. Um,
Hmm.
in a way, my class is also paced because I've locked the modules.
Oh.
So
Right.
if somebody tries to speed run the whole thing, and some people did, so I mean, I think in the first week I allowed them to take the first 2 modules. Some people were trying to access the third module, and then they were
This
messaging me,
content's not yet
"Sir,
unlocked.
yeah, sir, I can't access the third module. Have you completed
It's
the first
early
module?"
access.
You
Leave
got-
it
you got-
alone.
And I told them,
You gotta
finish
you gotta
early.
pay and download the DLC, man.
Yeah, well,
Understand? That's
I
why you have
just
to get
tell
the
them
other
that,
units. That's what you call those DLC units. This one unlocks it. If you get this one, you get a special reward perk.
The first 2 are the trial pack, and then you gotta pay for the rest.
Welcome to the
well,
class record, Bodega
I
Nights
should
edition.
think of that next time. Yeah. No,
And
but
after you
the
finish
way
it, you
just
can.
locking it is to also tell them that if you finish early, you should reward yourself with rest.
Yeah, actually, that's something that I really try to that we really should be trying to push, right? Like,
Yeah,
rest. It's crazy out there, and
yeah,
people need to
yeah.
rest.
And then actually, I remember when the quarantine started, the students were really all out complaining about, oh, what about our mental health and so on and so forth, right? I mean, of course, let's take mental health seriously, but um, now that they're trying to speed run through my class, I also get the chance to tell them, and once they start complaining, why is module 3 not yet unlocked? Well, guys, think of your mental health. Rest
Oh,
first.
yeah, rest first. I mean, we don't have Dolomite. Oh my God, Dolomite's in danger today.
Ooh,
Typhoon.
ooh.
Go.
Eddie
When they finish your
Murphy.
module, do they get New Game Plus? You can now take your knowledge and go back to retake the exam. Now
what-
made extra harder. You have unlocked the bonus page.
I
Is
want
that all
Extra
I want?
points.
Is that all? Is that all summative, or are those formative assessments?
No, it's a combination of summative and formative because they take the test, and of course, yeah, they can take it multiple times, but I also have a metacognitive dimension to my classes where they have to keep a journal, or they have to write a series of progress reports regarding what they have learned or what insights they have. I mean, I followed the questions that you sent me.
Mm,
ask
all
us-
right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite funny, and I like how the students are quite honest. Upon my 9th try, I realized.
Right.
Yeah, and
right.
I should be ducking under the sword.
Yeah, yeah, you could actually parry.
Those questions
Yeah,
are
Parrying
some
for suckers. Just keep stabbing.
Yeah, just keep stabbing. Yeah, so it's really very interesting, and I'm starting to see how because for me, I don't know, my main challenge always when it comes to literature classes is that I step into the classroom knowing most of my students hate reading, and the reason why they hate reading is because they have this kind of activity which they think is reading, but it's not really reading.
right.
It's really trying to
Well,
game the
it's not
teacher.
reading.
Yeah, well, they think that it's reading because they really prepare for tests. They don't really.
Ah, okay.
They don't.
Hmm.
So in other words, what they do is they try to read the teacher rather than the text. Or
Okay.
oh,
They
this
try to
is an
give you. They
important
feel like
word.
you want this answer,
Yeah.
not figure out what the answer
Yeah.
is. Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So actually, the thing that has been quite tough with my classes so far is that I have to because I have a regular mini essay requirement per week, and I give them 3 tries for that one.
Oh,
Yeah, no, but then again, yeah, it is quite. Yeah, I can already hear Joe groaning there. Yeah, it is a little bit of a torture.
my
But
God.
for me, my convenience is I don't have to give lectures anymore. They have to read the text. So yeah, and once a week I give them around 30 minutes to an hour where they can throw questions about anything that's not clear about the lessons. In fact, they don't even have to wait for that live session. They can even email me as immediately, and I just reply to them. Now, of course, given all these leeways and the feedback that I give them regularly, sometimes I realize I can also be quite harsh with the feedback. Yeah, sometimes I think one of the harsher stuff that I've said is that it's as if you never read module 1, 2, and 3 at all. Sometimes
My
I,
God,
sometimes I
dude.
go
How
like that.
dare you, sir? How dare you ruin their mental health?
No, but I mean, I'm not
Just kidding,
saying
just
that
kidding.
I'm not saying that they're stupid or anything. I'm not making
You're
those
just
claims. I'm
saying
just saying that
it's as
you
if.
didn't. It seems you didn't read this at all.
I'm
Yeah.
just imagining my Joem like he sends feedback. Social feedback just types an F in chat. What happened? You have died. Yeah.
There was that what was it? It was Vita posted something on Facebook asking how do you tell a student that they failed in a nice way, and I actually like sat down and thought about that question, even though it was kind of memey, like the way that Vita presented it, and the conclusion that I sort of reached was, when you're telling somebody that they failed, or when you tell a student that they failed, you don't tell them that they failed, you tell them that the paper sucks.
Yeah.
Like you don't tell them that they suck, you tell them that the paper sucks, because it's probably a good person, real smart, whatever. It's just that the output didn't reach the standards of the rubric or whatever. But
Yeah.
I like
that's
I like
that's
that.
tough, dude. Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
tell you, but the algorithm has fucked you.
yeah, I mean, you you,
I
you
like.
you you shouldn't tell a student that you failed. You say that the paper wasn't very
Oh no,
good,
not at all.
Yeah.
right?
I
Because it lets you know you can do better or something. Because you're saying they failed, it's kind of blown to their entire ego. Like it makes them feel worse than they should. I guess
Yeah.
that's one way to
Yeah.
say it.
on the flip side of the spectrum, you could tell them that the paper was great, but they suck as a person.
I'm
Well,
not a
it's
guidance
epic.
counselor.
And here's
I-
your mental health.
Yeah.
There goes your mental health.
Yeah.
I'm
I
amazed
suppose-
with your ability to work. It's just everything else about you is just horrible.
Yeah. I
I don't
suppose
tell
Joe,
you,
you
I mute you in class.
yeah. I suppose Joe, you still remember my whole thing about instructions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here are the house rules, and you have to follow the house rules. But of course, lately I haven't really been doing the whole apology letter anymore. I mean, it's something I've ditched along the way.
Yeah.
But there was this, but the house rules still remain. And one of the house rules I told them is that you're not supposed to. I'm going to give you guys my number, but here are the rules. No one's supposed to text me no one's supposed to text me unless it's an emergency, and nothing after 5 p.m. or weekends.
Oh,
And
God.
then, before the week was up, somebody texts me 12 a.m.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
Breaks
Huh?
all the
And
rules.
saying, sir, I just wanna make sure that the number is correct. What? So I messaged them. I'm sure you've
Message
read
back. Drop
the
the
house
class.
rules, right? So what is the emergency? Oh, I'm so sorry. It starts. Yeah, it
It's
starts getting
almost
rattled.
as if you didn't read
Joe
the
just
rules.
replies like, "Drop my
Yeah.
class." That's it.
There was something that you might want to do, and I've never actually done this, but I know that this works for some teachers. On the first day of class, they come up with like a class contract, right? So it's
Class contract.
yeah. So like what they do is they like discuss, right? So the expectations. Like, what do you guys expect from me as a teacher, and what do you guys expect of yourselves as students? If you want to make the most out of this class, what is the thing? What are the things that you're going to do?
Yeah.
And once the class sort of decide on a lot of this stuff, the first day they're all still like, yeah, we're gonna do great. We know that we're supposed to meet our deadline, so deadline, whatever. And then you create like a little, one of our teachers like actually put it on like some sort of illustration board or whatever and posted it in the front of his class. It was like, right, this is the class contract, and since this was something that came from you guys, you have to be accountable for this. um
Mm.
and that might be something that you can do, right? Like,
Yeah.
uh
Actually,
for
the
the rule.
variation I have made is I actually gave them a sort of bonus activity,
Okay.
which is a quiz on the house. Yeah, a quiz on the
Oh,
orientation.
that's so cool.
Yeah, unlimited tries. So practically bonus points. But it means that if you get a perfect score in that quiz, it means you know the house rules and you have no more excuses.
That's really cool, actually. I should do that. I should do that. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
especially since you can already program it, right? It can really be an objective type test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you guys use as your LMS?
Canvas.
All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually. We used Canvas for like our training, but then we ended up on Microsoft Teams. Ugh.
I thought
Man.
only employees use that one.
Well, they tried to adapt it to education. You can tell, you can really tell that it isn't an LMS from the
Yeah.
ground up. But like it's
You guys haven't tried the Google Classroom?
we did, but we got a pretty good deal on. The school that I teach at got a pretty good deal on Microsoft Teams.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was one of those things, right? Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
The ink is dried.
yeah.
I know you're suggesting this, however, budgetary means says this.
We already spent on
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
It came with like a
That's-
super duper fast internet connection at the office, which was like which has been really
Oh,
good for
that's
the
nice.
teachers that don't have internet connections.
yeah.
So like that was
Mhm.
I think that was like one of the primary considerations, like
Yeah.
a bunch of teachers
Actually,
have
that's the problem of
connectivity issues. So.
yeah, that's the problem actually of Canvas. I've heard it's a bit of a data hog.
So is Microsoft Teams. My God.
My gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually do your teaching in the school, or you also do a work from home deal?
Yeah. Work from home.
Okay.
That's the fun part. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm checking, being very harsh with my feedback
Checking.
while the kids are, while carrying the kids. Yeah. So sometimes that's what happens.
What was it? But then, like I said, no, some teachers have don't have like great internet connections, so they can work from school if they want. Like
Yeah.
there's the option to do that, and the
Same
internet
with
connections are
UNP.
there and everything, right? So
Yeah. Same
that's
with
how
UNP. Yeah.
that's how it goes.
So we actually brought Joem here because tonight,
It's the night.
when
Because we wanted this to be the class record, Bodega Nights edition.
on that
I
note,
thought we're gonna.
we do
Yeah.
On that note, we do have a
it's about
Patreon.
we do have a Patreon.
Yes.
It's on channel14.com. Everybody, if you like what you've heard so far, listen to Zhao's class record. And if you want to keep listening to Bodega Nights and any of our other podcasts,
Mhm.
And if you want
Like
to hear more
Jobber
about the
Talk.
dark souls of education,
I'm probably gonna put this. I'm probably gonna put this on the class record feed, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I think it's really more of not so much Dark Souls as it is Super Mario. I mean the questions don't really change or anything. So the
I mean,
idea is-
Dark Souls just teaches you have to observe, you have to learn. You can't just brute force your way. Mario, you
that's
can
true.
brute force your way.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls. Yeah.
That's why I
Probably-
enjoy Dark Souls. It's a game that you messed up.
Yeah.
It's not like the game cheating. It's like you messed up. You're
Yeah, I'll keep
Kind of
that
like
in
your
mind.
class. We know that we have crushed. You have made mistakes. This was a parry, not a block.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wait,
Yeah.
I
Miko,
see Norm up. Yo.
as somebody that's no, I was gonna ask, have any of you guys watched The Mandalorian,
Of
the first
course.
episode? Yeah, I want to hear the take of I want to hear the take of somebody from the 50 first.
Mm.
What did you think of of that first episode?
I'm guessing the one would be I'd be the guys with one of the weirder opinions because I'm actually familiar with that story that they showed off, the Marshall.
Yeah. So you
Mainly
read
because it came from an
Aftermath.
expanded universe thing.
So
Yeah.
you read
So it's like,
Aftermath.
oh, it's it's the Sheriff Tatooine,
Yeah,
which was slightly modified for this series. Because Sheriff of Tatooine, the guy who had amnesia, saw connection to the armor, got it, and went there. Whereas this one is he got the armor for Jawas because of situations. It was
yeah.
neat. I did appreciate it. There's only two things in that episode that really annoyed me. One was purely by the editing team, which kind of messed up a scene. And the other part was, well, it's throwing in how the crate dragon worked. It's kind of felt so graboidy. Like I was getting flashbacks to Tremors. It's like, it's a graboid! Get off the ground! That's how you survive!
Like what was it? I was kind of spoiled, not really spoiled, but like when we were watching it, we watched it with subtitles on, and when
Oh, okay.
and when Cobb Vanth first comes in, like we kind of missed the reveal that he was Cobb Vanth because like right at the bottom of the subtitle
It puts his
says,
name.
it puts his name there, like, oh, all right, cool. Like,
Actually, when I first saw him pop out, I first assumed, is this Jodo Cast? Like, from all the people in the EU, you brought in Jodo Cast. They started talking, okay, this is not Jodo Cast.
it was like I found it pretty cool though that they brought somebody in from they brought a character in from Aftermath. Because
Oh
like,
yeah, that's cool.
oh, all right, pretty
And
cool.
it's really one of those stories of the does Boba Fett survive stories that wasn't as popular because it wasn't, what everyone wanted, which he just fights his way out and then like teams up with Dengar for that whole like odd couple set of stories that was kind of amusing. It's like, hey, this could happen this way. Like, oh, okay. And then people just kind of ignored it.
And
But yeah, it's a fun thing. I enjoyed the Tuscans. I enjoyed the fact that they kind of showed a bit more of Tatooine, which really the OG fans, I'd like to think even prequel fans appreciated.
yeah,
Because sequel?
question about the Tusken Raiders, man. That's British Sign Language, right?
No.
Using British Sign Language.
They were using the actor, at least from the first season, the actor knew American Sign Language, but even he said that's not American Sign Language. He took a little bit of it, but made his own thing. The same thing with these Tuscans. The actors were familiar with the sign language, but it wasn't proper sign language. They got it and just essentially made it more Star Warsy per se. Because the fact they added grunts and things, which of course sign language will not have an auditory section to it, really.
So it's like TSL. It's like Tatooine Sign Language.
Yeah, in a sense, which includes grunts apparently.
Which has a little bit of British Sign Language, a little bit of American Sign Language, and a lot of.
I actually have my Tuscan helmet over there. I think.
But it was really funny, right? Because my girlfriend and I were watching it. There was that one scene where Din Djarin just starts talking to Cobb Vanth, or speaks in English, but does whatever it was that he was doing.
Yeah, he just kept on going on.
And he kept on going like this, and I was like, and my girlfriend looks at me and was like, so what we're saying is that the Tusken Raiders communicate through sign language, and all of this grunting and yelling really doesn't mean anything. It's like,
that, I guess. Like, I think the author reference maybe just connotes some other things, or this is another way to add emphasis here and there, but probably does not change the main text much.
So like, but when it comes to like sign languages of the world now, the way that you do this with your face like adds a little bit of different context to what it is.
For the Tuscans where you don't see a face, I guess adding auditory noise replaces that facial feature aspect.
Right.
It was a fun thing. It was a fun episode. I am excited for episode 2, but it's just one of those things where, I'm familiar with the story, so I guess for me, I wasn't as hyped up. It's like, oh, I know how this is gonna go, so I don't know how to feel. Even the scene where like we're hunting the Great Dragon, like I've seen this also in EU, where okay, I kind of know what's gonna happen. I did love the references. Though. There were references left and right, Easter eggs here and there. Even the Great Dragon Pearl, which is that's a cool throwback to KOTOR. That was nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we'll play
That's
again.
actually. I found that so cool, right? When they when they were holding it up, it was like, oh, does this
We're
mean we're
rich
going to
now.
get? Does this mean that we're going to get like a white lightsaber using like
Oh
the
yeah,
pearl
but
for
now
the Kyber?
that's not. Yep, but that does not work anymore. I mean, KOTOR, that was cool because back then, like, so how do lightsabers work? You stick whatever crystal or power source you want in there. Yeah, that's how it's gonna work.
But that
Then like
so
Disney,
that
like,
doesn't
no,
work
no, no, you
anymore?
don't do that anymore. But no, my merchandising.
But then with but then we're talking about Dave Filoni here, right? That that dude is like I'm still so amazed at the work that they're doing because they take every Star Wars, everything from every corner of the Star Wars universe and sort of bring it together. And you got like fans of the prequels, fans of the original trilogy, hell, even fans of the abomination that was the sequel trilogy, the expanded universe, all of um, the cartoons, right? Bringing them all in together into the Mandalorian, into something that every type of Star Wars fan can agree on.
Yep. Well, as I put it, it's a nice theme because it's Star Wars it's a Star Wars story in the Star Wars universe. It's not a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
It's set in the universe, which makes it feel nice. And I mean, I grew up with spaghetti western, so I enjoy it, and it felt like a spaghetti western, but in Star Wars. So it's nice. The main guy didn't know much about what we know. Technically, as fans, we are more aware of his universe than he is.
right.
So that was interesting. That you see a guy just experience the world as it is, not someone who sees this and like I know it, like I know this, I know this. Like, oh, I have heard stories of this. He's like, what? I'm looking for this guy. Looking for this guy.
A J what? So you're telling
Who
me
are these space wizards?
space wizards?
When I heard that, like, is this a throwback to the fact that that's what Annie used to say? I think wizard. That's so wizard.
I don't know, man. I love that show though. Like
Oh, it's amazing.
It's one of the best things that's coming on now.
It's one of the best Star Wars things, at least so far.
Yeah,
It actually feels like Star Wars.
and it doesn't matter from which where you're coming from. That's the thing that completely uh that completely floored me about it. Like whichever Star Wars you grew up on, and whichever Star Wars movie you have an affinity for, you're going to find something in the Mandalorian that you're going to love.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
that's the genius of Dave Filoni and
Oh,
what's his name, John Favreau.
I will say the one scene I found kind of funny, which was they had that scene there where they're everyone from Mos Pelagos is watching the Death Star to get exploded.
Yeah,
Then, like within seconds, like the criminal organization comes in. We're in charge now. Like, I'm pretty sure the Imperial forces are still in the area. It's not like boom, it blows up. Like, well, can't go home, I guess. You got.
Yeah. Looking at you, Robot Chicken Star Wars.
It's like, huh? I guess we lost. Bye. You guys, you're in charge now. Just leaves.
But then what's it, right? Like
the little thing.
Tatooine was well, particularly like Mos Pelego. Like nobody really actually cared about that place.
Which again brings the question: so why didn't these guys take over earlier?
Yeah.
So it's that thing. So I had to assume there had been an Imperial presence. I mean, Mos Eisley said the MEPD, so I'd like to assume that these guys had the MPPT, which was just pretty much just sand troopers who just were there. Because being a mining colony, they should have some materials that the Imperials want. And the fact that they had so many torpedo warheads, like, wow, you guys have a lot of explosives.
Mm.
Like, is this for mining? If it is, like, that's kind of scary mining. How do you mine? We just like bomb the hell out of everything. It's like carpet bombing mining. We just bring in the ships, carpet bomb everything, just pick up the dirt. Like, there we go. Here's some more. Awesome. Well, guys, it's a fun series though. Great stuff. And excited to see the whole season. and hopefully it will not make me feel bad like halfway through season, because people told me that I got some information on the inside, supposedly that halfway through season they don't talk much about the Mandalorian. They kind of go for a Cara Dune aspect, which I heard that like really that's kind of weird, but okay, sure.
Yeah, because the rumor was right that Pedro Pascal was kind of hard to work with.
Yeah, that
Well,
has been
for
confirmed a
that
number of times,
period.
which is why he's now been relegated to a voice actor role. I think starting half of season 2 on to season 3, he's now just a voice, not a face.
which is good. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, makes
was
sense. He's not supposed to show his face at all, which makes you wonder. So does that mean in season 1 is the only time you ever see the character's face, and that's it? He's never seen again.
like that. I found that just like really weird, man. Like that very that time that he removed his helmet in front of the IG-11 droid. I was like, well, okay. Um, this is a contractual obligation thing, isn't it? Like that's exactly what I
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
he hired the actor for his face.
felt. Right? Sort of like
And
sort of like
keep it-
that. What was it? I might have been watching that Batman movie, the third Batman movie with like Cine Joem, and there was that one scene where right at the very end,
Bane.
yeah, Bane had his face covered the whole time, except for that last scene, right? It's like, and then like he turns away, and I think it might have been Joem or John that was like, that's the contractual obligation. You got to see his face.
Man, is that the same Batman movie where like John walked out when they made a Batman statue scene? I remember he walked out.
Yeah,
That's
he
one
walked out
movie.
right at the very end.
I don't remember a
last
Batman statue.
It's
Yeah.
like the
Dark Knight
new,
Rises.
Was
Dark
there a
Knight
statue
Rises.
in the
Yeah,
end?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, towards
that
the end.
happened.
Yeah.
That just
Huh.
happened.
I don't recall that. I just remember Alfred and the restaurant.
I think it's with all the politicians and the circular hall.
Of justice.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a hall of justice though.
I guess also putting the Batman statue, it's kind of a mixed feeling of like he was our hero, but it's also we're kind of okay with vigilanteism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess it's
I think it wasn't about the vigilantism at that particular point because he just did get saved from terrorism. So, yeah, and he actually freed the cops. So, in a way, he did give the power back to the cops.
in a
That-
way. But
The 1%
isn't it, like,
will save us all.
Yes.
But it doesn't it like undermine like the authority of the cops if they acknowledge the role Batman plays in saving Gotham with a statue?
No, actually, I remember getting into a conversation with one of my former students about how much of a vigilante is Batman really? Because, I mean, he
I
doesn't
like to
really.
think that's his whole shtick.
This is such a Joem conversation to have.
No, I mean, he doesn't really dispense justice if you think about it, but he facilitates things so it becomes easier for the cops to do their job.
I'm not a religious man, but I will make you meet God. Type of situation. Like I am not here to dispense the justice, but I will bring you to court and have it work in its best way possible.
Yeah.
Which I guess
right?
if you think about it, I mean that's the reason why people keep escaping Arkham. It's not like he's trying to keep them there. He's like the system has to do it on its own. I will help you get there. That it's up to you. I wash my hands off this.
Yeah.
What a rich person thinks.
Yeah.
Batman is proof you can slap crime with your wallet.
Right? The only thing stopping the police is a
Is the-
budget that Batman has.
Which
Kind of
Imagine he
became
just gave the budget.
I
I'm
remember that
looking
actually
at
being a conversation before where like the Batman of today versus the Batman of the yesteryears and decades. It's so different because of how the police are equipped back then versus now. Like remember back then we just had the simple utility belt which had some cool stuff, but you now see some average beat cops have very similar tech. Like back then they
Right.
had like this billy clubs and revolvers. Now you can see cops. They keep an AR-15 or like a slug shotgun in the car,
And the radio.
and even the body armor. Like as I said, like the cops back then, they had like the usual uniform. Now they have body armor. SWAT has better armor. They have freaking MRAVs in some areas. So how does the MRAV doesn't even compare to the original Batmobile in terms of like armor?
What's an MRAD again? How does it look
Mine
like?
resistant armored vehicle.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty much a really, really chunky truck that was sold to them at a discount because it's cheaper than buying a proper armored truck.
big chunk.
So I mean, you see
Big
that's
chunk.
yeah. So you see those things, and you see Batman has evolved, becoming even more and more techy. I guess it's interesting there, and I guess the vigilanteism there. He still does bring them to justice. He doesn't, except for I guess. Well, no. What do you think that scene in the first Batman where he did not save Ra's al Ghul?
I mean
that's vigilantism, right?
Yeah, that's vigilantism. But I think the other, I mean, the succeeding movies, I think,
he became more Batman.
more of a Batman. Like, I'm gonna do what a citizen does, right? And then the arresting part, the legal stuff you guys do, I just facilitated everything else. Actually, if you think about it, it's only that particular time with Ra's al Ghul where he really resorts to vigilantism.
I'd like to have a lawyer on the show talk about that. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, actually, it's quite interesting. Because
I
if you
should
think
have
that
I should
kind
have
of
finished law school
argument-
just so that we can answer this question.
I know, right?
Yeah, because it's not as if
Goes back to law
Batman-
school just to have this debate.
yeah. The argument here is that Batman doesn't really put people in his personal jail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
what
leaves
does it
them
mean
for
to be a
interrogations.
vigilante?
Yeah.
There was no bat jail, but there was a Batmobile, Bat Cave, Batarang, Bat Juice, Bat Tea,
Battery.
Battery.
What's a terry?
Yes.
Bat shark repellent, if you all remember
Shark
that
repellent?
from
Oh, yes.
I rewatched
crap.
that. Apparently, he didn't have it on his belt.
Yeah,
it
he
was
did.
in the chopper.
He
No,
has
it's in the
everything
chopper.
on his belt.
Was it in the belt? Because I saw again.
Why would
Apparently,
you-
it was in the chopper.
Well,
Well,
Are we
I
really
don't
going to
know.
question it, Norm? Are we really going to question that? Like, why would that be in the chopper?
Batman can keep
Yes. Yes.
the 1966 Batman can keep a bat shield in his belt.
We
Yeah.
will question it because it exists, Miko. And if it exists, we will question it. That is the core of philosophy. Even if it doesn't exist, we will still question it.
so how much more
is
for
that-
something that actually does exist?
Is that like wondering whether or not Batman has like a superpower, which has been heavily debated to the point that no, he shouldn't have a superpower. But he says his superpower is like, I am a super detective. Like, is that really a superpower?
He has like
the
the,
power
superpower
of detectiving.
of wealth, right? Well, he has the power of the writer. Like
Yeah, I guess that's true.
in that way, he's like Deadpool in that way. Like you know how back in the day, right? Back in the day, Bruce Wayne was like a millionaire, and then as it stands right now,
Then
because
became
of
a billionaire?
inflation, he's like a billionaire. It's
Yeah.
it's just a lot like how the cops are becoming more are becoming better equipped, so Batman has to become better equipped than the cops, right?
But
Do you
Yeah,
think
the-
he'll
the
have
escalation-
Batcoin in the future? Like he'll have crypto?
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
He had the
Batcoin.
credit
Bitcoin.
card in the
Bitcoin?
animated
I
series.
bought it.
He
I
had-
bought
he had
Bitcoin and
the-
I paid Batcoin.
He had the credit card in the animated series.
In
he had
Batman
a credit
Forever,
card in Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Sorry, Batman and Robin. Right? Never leave home
That
without
too,
it.
yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
had
the
a card.
Bat
The
Batman
American
Forever.
the Amex for Batman is like
That was so dumb. I loved it.
I was
Looking
like,
back
so
at
are you
it now,
telling me
it's like-
they know? Do these people know who Batman is?
Yeah.
no, it's just licensed to Batman.
Like, who are they charging? Who's paying this bill?
Bruce Wayne is paying this out of charity, but it's named to Batman.
But I am so not
Yes.
Bruce Wayne. I want that to be known.
you know, dude. After what was the name of that? After watching Batman: The Brave and the Bold, I found myself sort of craving that campy Batman again. You know,
Yeah.
right? It was
The
sort
one
of
where
like
the one where you can compare him to Inspector Gadget.
that sort of. Ooh, Martin
That
actually
camp of
has a
Batman.
link to like
Yes.
the Bat credit card. But
Oh, wow.
True forever.
I gotta ask, like, there's one way where the bad credit card might exist, and that's because Bruce Wayne owns the banks.
But I mean, he has staff who will handle like, is Bruce Wayne Batman?
Or in Batman Inc.
Fired. That's
Batman
the
Incorporated.
Yeah,
answer for
it could be Batman Inc.
Could be
Just
Batman
made the
Inc.
whole He made the whole thing. Who's that? Oh, it's a guy that's trying to make money off being Batman. He makes all the illegal Bat merchandise. What's Batman
that
gonna
was
do?
like
Sue
a-
me?
Card.
Wasn't that like a plot point for the second Bat? Was one of his employees figured out who Batman was, and then
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
they
they
silenced
tried
him.
So-
blackmailing him. Yeah, Dark Knight.
You're telling me that
Joker.
you think your boss is a mass vigilante who beats up criminals during the night, and you want to blackmail this man? Ah, you make some good points here. Yes.
That's true.
I'm gonna be on
Yeah.
Jerry Springer one way or another.
Jerry,
Joe, have you
Jerry,
seen
Jerry.
Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
I've
No.
seen that one. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Surprisingly
parts.
bloody.
Yeah.
Also,
I've
oh
seen
wow, it is
parts.
violent. This is not like the TMNT I
Oh
grew
my
up
god,
with.
Yeah.
the puns on this credit card.
Though I do love how they
Valid
had
through
like the
to
old school
forever.
like freaking van. They had like the TMNT van with the pizza launcher with like the launcher for the manhole covers, and they're like, oh my god, this is kind of campy and also so super violent.
Yeah. I remember that fight between Batman and Shredder. That was pretty.
Oh, that was cool. That was so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and I realized,
And when he fought-
wow, he's not that campy Shredder anymore.
No, not at all. Even the
Yeah.
fight when he fought the turtles, like one by one, basically.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing. That was
Yeah.
that was a crossover I did
That-
not expect to be that entertaining. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really seen the whole thing, but I've been able to kind of stitch them together through YouTube.
I've seen the highlight reel. I somewhat
Yeah.
understand the story.
Yeah. People have been putting so many clips, which kind of,
It's a pretty solid movie. I mean, I enjoyed it. I won't say it's the best Batman film, but it's the best one with turtles.
Troy Baker's in it.
yeah. No, I was just thinking of Zhao's comment about the Batman with camp, and I agree.
Would you
Zhao,
consider? Have you seen Batman went to feudal Japan? Would you consider that camp? Because that was weird as hell.
I would say it's weird. I wouldn't exactly say it's
Not
camp.
necessarily campy, but like, yeah, I mean, it was I absolutely loved that show, Batman the Brave and the Bold, because it was, it had a lot of callbacks to like the sort of 60s kind of Batman, and it was really campy, and like Batmite shows up, and freaking all of these really deep cuts in DC like also show up as well.
Lore, yeah. The red kryptonite.
Yeah, all of that stuff. It's
man.
Yeah.
it's so
Have-
good.
Oh, sorry.
That might.
Yeah. Joe, have you read this?
We can tell the
comic book
storm's coming
series,
closer.
Little Gotham.
Little dog.
I've heard
Little
of it.
Gotham.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
I think
Little
you should look
Gotham?
for that one. Yeah, Little Gotham.
Let me check it out.
Yeah.
Let me search for
Is
it.
it like
Yeah.
Muppet
I think
Babies
it has
but
the
with
right
Batman?
amount of camp, I think, that you'd like. It also has these throwbacks to a lot of that Batman lore as well.